Here, track and field coach Niels Anderson. Coach, we were just kind of joking off camera. A nice little gap between the MIC Conference Indoor Championships and now you kick off the outdoor season this weekend. I'm going to ask it in a weird way. What do you do over that time?
Well, once that culminating event of the MIAC is over, we do like to have that little bit of a gap where you feel like I have a little bit of a refreshment moment where my legs kind of get back underneath me. I get that sense of rejuvenation that I can start all over again and do a new season. And so that we get that little bit of a gap, but then it's also a great training session where we can really beat them down, break down the muscles, really get a heavy training load before we ever get into competitive season. So we are getting two things done kind of that are the exact opposite of each other.
And talk a little bit about the difference. Obviously, and don't say one's indoor and one's outdoor, but there are big differences between what you do in the indoor season and what you do in the outdoor season.
Absolutely. The most obvious thing, and you kind of just said it, is the preparation for, we got to be ready for all kind of weather. The inclement weather doesn't mean we don't compete. It just means we have to be well prepared for it. And so as we kind of do that, that changes. Obviously, the distances changes. The events change. So many different parts of the puzzle are completely new. So this weekend going to UW L will be that first opportunity for us to kind of go, it's not a 55 anymore, it's 100. It's not a 55 hurdles, it's a 110. There's the 400 hurdles is a new event. There's the hammer, there's the javelin, there's the discus. It's a new sport almost in a lot of ways.
And talk a little bit, you kind of touched on it, especially with Mother Nature being the way she is.
Right.
Outdoors, you've got to battle some what can be some really tough elements as well.
Yeah, well, this weekend will be the obvious first test of that. Couple inches of, who knows what that's called, sleet rain coming our way. And so we actually are in a situation where we might have to move the track meet to Sunday. So you just have to be way more flexible. You have to be ready for anything. We always say be prepared for the worst weather possible, and don't assume that we're going to cancel the meet, because there still can be some great performances that can happen, and we still want to compete. We still want to be side by side next to somebody, seeing what they've got today versus what you've got. It's great mental preparation to go through a hardship and in any kind of weather, to kind of say, what kind of a competitor are you? Are you one that's going to complain and whine about the situation, or are you somebody who's going to rise up to this challenge and see what you got in you?
And how about from the athlete's perspective? How do they stay, for lack of a better word, how do they stay warm? And when it's indoor, you can kind of hang around everything, you're inside. But when you're outside in the elements, how do they stay focused on what they need to do while also really, come this weekend, stay warm?
Absolutely. Well, you've got it. That one of the things we'll kind of hammer over and over is the time that the preparation takes to get warm, to get your body warm, is longer. It just is a much more extensive process where you can't just show up in shorts and t-shirt and think you're going to get warm because it's 70 degrees and partly sunny inside our nice dome. You have to show up with layers upon layers, and you have to mentally exert more energy to get warm. And hopefully our training has put us in a place where that's not a big deal, but it is something that you have to account for as far as the preparation.
And let's talk a little bit about Saturday, Sunday, whichever day it might be. UW L Invitational in lacrosse. Expectations on your part, what do you want to get out of this first meet of the outdoor season?
Yeah, if you go back to some of our previous conversations, you'll probably hear an echo and a refrain. They're really tired right now. They, at least on my sprinter side, and I know I've talked with Ward, our distance coach, they're really tired. We've put a huge amount of training in this last month, in essence. And so you want to see it take effect, but also with the weather and everything, that we want to kind of get that baseline, that starting point, use it as a reference for the rest of the way out. But again, later in the season, when we give them their legs back and kind of diminish the load and increase the intensity, that's when I think we'll see the good performances. Of course, next week at this time, you might be saying, I thought you said there weren't going to be good performances, and here's what happened. There will be some great performances, I'm sure, but I'm just happy that with the training we've done, and I expect with the weather and the cold, sprinters and throwers and jumpers, they all like warm weather. It's pretty hard to bend a pole vault pole when it's really cold out. So those kinds of things happen with cold weather. So we're really looking for great competition, looking for great effort, and we'll see if there's some performances along the way.
You know, you speak of great performances. You haven't competed since the conference championships indoor, but on Tuesday there really was a great performance, and that's Amy Spitzmueller, one of your distance athletes, was named SMU's Outstanding Female Athlete.
Yeah.
A great honor for the St. Mary's track and field and cross country programs, and obviously for Amy as well. Talk a little bit about Amy and what she brings to your program.
Well, what I love about Amy is when we get done with practice, when we get done with all of the hard work that she puts in, I'll be kind of putting things away, and she'll be getting ready for the next thing she's involved in. I know she works with students who have disabilities, and I see her, the way she interacts with those kids, the character and the servant heart that she has are, you know, as much of a reason as the time and effort she's put into running. She's been, this is my first year, but watching how people really hang on to her every word just is a testament to her leadership for our team. She's been tremendous.
And a great honor for her, and obviously congratulations as well. UWL, you kick off the outdoor season on Saturday, maybe Sunday, but good luck, and hopefully next week we're talking about some of those great performances.
Thank you.